We are handed the same blueprint from day one. Go to school, land a decent job, and prepare for 4 decades of routine. You wake up in the dark, sit in gridlock traffic, nod along with a boss you tolerate, and dutifully funnel 20% of your paycheck into a 401k every single month. The prize waiting at the end of this gauntlet is the permission to finally stop working and enjoy life at age 65. Right when you are tired, your joints ache, and your physical prime is behind you. But that standard timeline assumes you have to keep feeding your retirement accounts continuously, year after year until the very end. It turns your career into an endless marathon with a finish line that is always receding, leaving you with a persistent low-grade anxiety about whether you are saving enough right now. There is a specific threshold, a precise dollar amount that you can hit early in your career, often in your 30s. Once your portfolio reaches this number, you never have to invest another penny for retirement. This mathematical strategy is called Coast Fire. It doesn't mean you quit your job and sit on a beach at 35. You still work to cover your daily expenses, like rent and groceries. But you get to stop saving. Every extra dollar you earn is yours to spend today. Your future self is already fully funded. You strip away the financial pressure of tomorrow, leaving you completely free to design a lifestyles you actually enjoy in the present. Think of building wealth like shoving a tiny snowball up a steep incline. At first, it is exhausting. This is your 20s. Scraping together that first $10,000 or $50,000 is agonizing because your money isn't large enough to generate its own earnings yet. You are doing all the heavy lifting. But eventually, you reach the apex of that hill. That exact tipping point is your Coast Fire number. You let go. The snowball rolls down the other side, packing on mass and speed entirely on its own. Gravity takes over, and the object grows exponentially without you touching it. By compressing your saving years into a short, intense window early on, you force compound interest to do the decades of heavy lifting for you. To see how this plays out in reality, let's look at two people who both plan to retire at age 65. This chart maps Gary's timeline. He follows standard advice, putting away $500 a month starting at age 25. By 65, Gary secures roughly $1.7 million. Now look at Carl. Carl lives frugally and saves aggressively from age 25 to 35. Once his portfolio hits $250,000, he turns off his savings contributions entirely. For the next 3 decades, Carl just leaves that initial $250,000 alone to grow. At 65, Carl's portfolio sits at $2.5 million. The math works, but the real benefit is what happens to your state of mind. You instantly shift from accumulation mode into maintenance mode because retirement is already baking in the oven. You don't need a high-stress corporate job just to hit a savings quota. You could take a massive pay cut for a job you actually enjoy, and your day-to-day lifestyle wouldn't drop a single point. Hitting this number strips the desperation out of your career choices. You work on your own terms. Finding your personal finish line requires working backwards from your end goal. Start with the rule of 25. Multiply your desired annual retirement income, say $80,000, by 25 for a $2 million target. Step 2 is the reverse calculation. Drawing backward 35 years at a conservative 7% growth rate requires a starting amount of roughly $190,000 today. If you have that amount invested in broad index funds at age 30, you have crossed the finish line for your retirement obligations. Instead of staring down an endless need to save, you have a singular target to attack. Now, this isn't a license to completely drop out of the workforce in your youth. You still have to cover your current rent and food. The strategy isolates and removes the biggest financial fear in adult life, reaching your old age and finding out you are broke. Calculate your threshold, write it down, stick it to your monitor, organize your life around hitting it. You intentionally absorb the pain of extreme saving in your early years to buy absolute ownership over your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Financial freedom doesn't require a lifetime of perpetual grinding. It just requires pushing hard enough, early enough, to let the math carry you the rest of the way.